Hello everyone, my name is Juan Martinez Aguilar and this is my video of Attention to Diversity exam. But before starting, I would like to explain you what attention to diversity is. Well, it is defined as a set of educational actions that try to prevent and respond the needs of all the students of the school, but especially those students with specific needs for educational support and their types. And now, let's start. Evolution Attention to Diversity. The history of attention to diversity begins in prehistory, where psychiatric oscurantism predominated, which was related to being disabled with demonic reasons. The Lycurgus law eliminated newborns with deficiency symptoms. In this way, we reach the Middle Ages, in which the Church condemned the infanticide, which causes an increase in abandoned children. The Inquisition enters in the sense that, together with the Church, will reinforce the punishment toward people with deficits for believing to be a product of the devil. We advance towards the 16th century, in which psychiatric naturalism appeared. The nature was the basis of the human behavior. The first educational experiences were developed, linked to the deaf and blind people. The 18th century advanced with inventions that were interested in attention to diversity. Louis Braille invented the alphabet for blind people. Lebbe created the first public school for the blind people in Paris. And finally, Valentin Hauy created the first institution for deaf teenagers. We continue advancing until we reach the 19th century. It was a period characterized by the birth of special education, as society became aware of protecting the abnormal, disabled, or people with deficiencies. Along with this, we mustn't forget the birth of psychometry at the beginning of the 20th century. In this way, the educational needs would be answered, where pathology and evaluation appeared. The ideology of normalization and integration emerges, which is defined as offering each side the necessary education. Finally, we came to inclusive education, where schools have to propose learning methods that meet the needs of the child in order to develop an education of and for all. This is related to attention to diversity of our current educational system. From my point of view, I think that the different laws have been improving the elements, principles, and aspects existing in our educational system that have positively affected attention to diversity. The LOGSE, Ley Orgánica General del Sistema Educativo, in 1990 represent the beginning of inclusive educational policies in our country. Attention to the diversity of the student was possible given the existence of a curriculum as well as the adoption of ordinary and extraordinary measures. The following educational law is LOE, Ley Orgánica de Educación, in which new principles are adopted to respond to the needs of the educational system, and three principles are taken into account: equity, quality, and inclusion. Finally, we find the LOMCE, Ley Orgánica de la Mejora de la Calidad Educativa, currently present law. In attention to diversity, special emphasis will be placed on student diversity, individualized attention, prevention of difficulties, and implementation on reinforcement mechanisms. Those students who present some specific needs for educational support and NEI have a different attention. They are students with special educational needs and NEI, specific learning difficulties, ADHD, high intellectual abilities, late entry into the educational system, or school history. In this way, attention to diversity will be given to different teaching professionals such as teacher of audition and language, therapeutic pedagogy, etc. Individualized work plans PDI are prepared that is a selection and adaptation of the standards and competencies in the areas in which the child presents difficulties. In conclusion, I believe that the different educational laws have provided an advance in the structure of the Spanish educational system in attention to diversity. LOGSE, LOE, and LOMCE have individually contributed a grain of sand to form the great mountain that currently exists. We meet a student with special educational needs, Acne. This presents a set of disorders characterized by delays and qualitative alteration in the development on the social, cognitive, and communication areas, as well as repetitive and stereotyped behaviors, interests, and activities. These students, according to their gravity, will be attended within the center in ordinary classroom or in specialized open classroom, equipped with material and human means to respond to their needs. At the center level, the counselor must collect the psychopedagogical study of the girl who had before or starting a new one for all the teachers involved to act. In this report will appear all the material resources, assessment instructions, level of curricular competence, adaptation of access to the curriculum, etc. As a teacher, I will have to follow the guidelines set out in the psychopedagogical report. If necessary, the girl will receive assistance from professionals in therapeutic pedagogy, audition and language. We will work in coordination. An individualized work plan (PDI) will be carried out, adapting and selecting the standards of previous years to the course in which she is, due to her intellectual retardation, depending on the special needs that she raises. The classroom will be organized by placing the student next to the teacher and the blackboard. More time will be allowed to finish the task. Individual activities will be combined with others in groups. This allows student success. A reinforcement system will be established.
Once the video is finished, after my effort and dedication, the mark that I consider most appropriate for myself is a 9. I've been constant in following the subject and preparing this video. Thanks to this subject, I am able to understand the importance of attention to diversity and how important it is to attend to the special needs of those students who need it. I've learned the different situations that can occur in a day-to-day of the teaching work. I've learned the different professionals that can appear, how important is PDE. The preparation of this video has given me a greater and broad knowledge about the subject. This learning will serve me for my future job as a teacher. I hope you like it and thank you very much.